Hi, we're coming live to you now at the Get Busy Livin Podcast with the lovely Graciela Michel. And I'm Dr. Scott Fox from Sixth Sense Acupuncture. I'm a registered acupuncturist and Chinese herbalist. And I'm based in the north of Brisbane. I've got a mobile clinic. So it's lovely to have you today, Graciela. It looks like our stream is doing well. So thank you so much for giving us your time to today to inform us about what you do and what gets you out of bed, because that's going to be my next question.
Thank you, Dr. Scott, for having me today here. I am so happy to be with you today.
That's yeah, much appreciated. So I was checking out your LinkedIn profile. So you're in the what's it called, mindset and well-being coaching. But first of all, we get into that. Well, I'd like to ask you, what gets you out of bed every day, please, Priscilla?
That is a good question. First of all, I wake up. Um, I have I am motivated by love for life. I'm motivated by helping people and including myself live a more conscious and fulfilling life. That is what motivates me to wake up every morning. I love life. I love learning as well. I love the challenge of learning every day.
Yeah, that's very important. We can't expand if we're not continually learning it.
We are
Which
here
is
to learn.
Yeah, this is the opposite to what we were taught.
Correct.
Uh, So yeah, um,
So that is my motivation. My motivation, and I love people. So I want everyone to be happy because
yeah,
there is a way to be happy beyond our struggles,
yeah, that's it.
beyond our challenges.
Yeah, that's right. There's heaps of challenges. They're going on about 60,000 times a day. Yeah,
I agree with
they're called our thoughts. So well, that's great. So now that I mentioned that you're a mindset and wellness well-being coach, uh, you tell us basically, how did you get into that? How did you get into the mindset and well-being coaching?
I started my journey in coaching during a difficult time with my family, and during in 2019 during a consultation. I was in a room waiting for a consultation in Argentina. I came across a book that inspired me to help people who was dealing with trauma, a childhood trauma, and parenting special needs children like myself. And once I returned to Australia, I decided to join in the Master Life and Business Coach at the Coaching Institute and become a master coach. So, as a master coach, I delve into NLP, emotional intimacy, and, and positive psychology. And I also attended trauma conference in order to deepen my understanding.
Yeah, yeah, gotcha.
And I have to say one thing here, clear. It's a long story. I have a son who is severely autistic.
Yeah,
And I
that's
do remember I went through so much in my life with him, you know. Once I started to learn that everything that needed to change started with me. No, didn't start from him, it started from me. No, and once I remember my hardest moment in my life was when I couldn't handle him anymore. So I have to put him into a special care. He was 16 by that time. And I cried for 3 years, believe me. After that, I cried for 3 years. Even though he used to come home during the weekend, it was so hard for me to realize that I couldn't handle the situation anymore. And at that time, that was, wow, 26 years ago, because he's turning 42. So 26 years ago, I say to myself, I'm not going to die and without helping others to know to not to go through what I went through in my life.
Yeah.
Because I used to live by default, no conscious, no present. Everything was craziness, pure craziness. When I understand what means to live present, my life completely changed. And to tell the truth, my personal transformation deepened with Humano Puente, where I learned about bioassisted consciousness and bioemotional decoding. And and once and that this experience not only transformed my life, also motivated me to become a consultant myself. And now I help people in their wellness journey, and I am committed to help people in their wellness journeys. And I specialize in exploring and process emotions. And
Um,
as a consultant, we believe that behind every symptom, there is a story to be healed, an unresolved conflict, you know?
yeah.
So, in the world of conscious biosystems, the path of healing starts with a symptom, which serves us as a portal to our true self, and which help guide us to greater self-awareness as well.
Yeah. So you were saying that your son he's in his 40s now, and yeah, he was severely what do you call autistic.
Yes,
So you had to learn, I suspect, very quickly how to get him to help him communicate, because that's what I've seen. Because I worked in hospitals for so many years, I noticed that it is more the frustration that they can't communicate, that they can't get the information out. They're thinking something, but they can't express it to us, and that's why they don't know how to deal with that inability to express themselves, and that's why you see, like, we just think that they're not mentally well, because they get frustrated, and they go off in tangents. They get aggressive, and they get, because it's just so frustrated, because they want to say it, but they just can't. Is that your experience? Is that what you
correct.
saw?
I went through very tough time with my son. I was a single mom since he was 2 years and a half. So I deal with everything. I was the mayor provider there. I was the provider emotionally,
Yeah,
financially, and be there as a mother, helping them as a therapist as well, because we needed to do some work at home as well. So it was a very tough time, really
yeah.
tough.
What I
Um,
imagine it would have been.
and as he was growing, became harder for me to handle as a single mother, dealing with him. And and the change started with me because more stress I was getting, the worse he was getting.
Yeah.
And now I am here because I know how important. I always say it's amazing. As soon as you receive the diagnosis of your kids, the first they have to work are the parents, not the kids. Because the parents, they need to connect with all of what they are going through, you know?
Yep.
No
Yep.
start dealing with the diagnosis and everything. They need help for themselves. They need support. If
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
could have understood this, I would be better equipped and better off with my son. But no, I started to spend fortune in my son without looking after myself, not only emotionally, mentally, and
Yeah.
physically.
And physically, yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
That's that's the burden of being a mum, and an even bigger burden when you're a single mum as well. And so, hats off to all the mums out there with doing it tough on their own. Number one, on their own, and number two is if they've got a child that has special needs.
and
It's
any
even more.
any parent,
Yep.
chato, you know, really, any parents. Doesn't matter that the symptom your children are showing, every parents, you know. And even we have our challenge as a parent as well of those one we call normal. We
Yeah.
What's normal? What is
No.
normal? Please, please.
Is
What
every
is
child. If we if we explain to every child to expand and be think outside of the norm and question and critically think, then of course you're going to get issues. Why? Because you're endorsing that behavior, you're endorsing them to think outside of what you think, and that's more important. Yeah.
correct? Love what you say. Exactly. Our our
Yeah.
kids, they are showing what we cannot express. We
Yeah.
Once we start understanding that, oh, beautiful to hear from you that. Yes, our kids are showing what we are not allowing ourselves to express. For this reason, it's so important for us as a parent to look after ourselves first. Number one, our kids are our maestros. They come to teach us to be better version of ourselves.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
come to teach us so much to pay attention, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. So we got a commentary. Mitch Brugger. Hi, go, Mitch. He said the word normal when it comes to children is in and of itself a spectrum. Yes, it's a conundrum, isn't it? It's a
Yeah,
conundrum that um, we want them to be like us, but then we want them to critically think, and yeah, it's
yes.
counter it's counterintuitive.
Yes, we want them to be certain way.
Yeah,
And first, are we are we fulfilling our expectation of
yeah,
ourselves?
yeah.
Are we fulfilling our expectation of ourselves?
Yeah,
So
that's it. So they, yeah, yeah, that's it. Uh, wh- What's what? How do the French say it? C'est la vie. C'est la vie. It's let it go. Just let it be, as the
or
Beatles say. So if they want to do that, if they want to do whatever they're doing, then yeah, let them. And I mean, we got to let them make mistakes too.
uh,
That's all part of critical thinking.
correct. Because I always say I have a PhD of making a professional of making mistake. Every day we make mistake. We
Yeah,
want them to behave certain way, to have these certain words, to speak us the certain way. No, 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 no. No, 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 no.
No, that's right. Science should be is all about questioning. That's what science is all about. It's all about questioning. That's no different to us as parents. We should always be questioning, and also that our children should also be constantly questioning. And this is hard to accept. This is very hard to accept.
Oh, yeah, my goodness. It took me years of therapy, believe me. Years.
Yes, it's the same. It's the same as an employer. An employer is the same that you need to let your staff make mistakes. 'Cause, I mean, we all make mistakes. Even the employers make mistakes.
We all, we are human beings. And now I am sure I will make mistake in this interview as well. It's a part of life, part
Yeah,
of
yeah,
us continue growing, you know?
yeah. That's
We
right.
are not perfect. Once we accept that we are not perfect, life is much easier, you know?
Yes,
We live
takes a load off your
happier.
shoulders.
Exactly. We live
It takes a
happier.
load of takes a load off your shoulders if you're not so tough on yourself. This is
Mm.
the problem: is that everyone's tough on themselves. They I do the same. We're all guilty of it. We're all guilty of being too tough on ourselves, and the problem
Even
is it causes procrastination. And yeah, I understand. I understand.
oh, procrastination. Yes, yes, yes. But more we tap into our body, more we tap with all of those feelings, the better they become. You
Yes,
know,
yes.
you
So, so tell us more. So tell us more. So, what implementations, what systems, what ideas, what methods did you use to help your son make it to 42? Isn't he? He's 42 years old. What did you implement? What did you implement to get him to 42?
oh,
Many things, huh?
very love your question. One of the major things is be connected. You know, so beautiful because be connected with yourself first. I am connected with myself, and when I am with him, is I am connected with him. He was part of my body. Believe me, nobody could believe it that he went into a special care. Nobody, because he was he was on top of me, always here with me, always. He was huge because he's 192 centimeter tall, high,
Big
you
Timber.
know, and he was always next to me. I have a special connection with him, even though I used to get very crazy with him. But once I started to be more connected with me, with myself, with my feelings, the
Yeah,
transformation was huge. Even his meltdown, I do remember those times when he used to have very strong meltdown. Nobody could cope. Nobody. Even when the daycare, he used to go during the day to a special institute during the day, like a school, but it wasn't a school.
yeah,
He used to call me to go to pick him up because they couldn't cope with him even at work. It was very hard time because I was working. I was the mayor the
main
provider of
yeah,
our, yes. So it was very hard. So anyway, when he used to have his meltdown, I used to protect myself first. I do remember once I learned the technique to hold myself, to hold my frustration, to hold my fear. Oh, huge fear because he used to bite me, to pull my hair. He used to
yeah,
do a lot of things, but I used to, I used to hold my body, and give some peace to myself. And I wasn't fighting with him, trying to stop him having that meltdown. When he saw that in myself, he started to reduce his meltdown. They didn't last as long as they were lasting
Yep.
because sometimes they used to last a long time. And I was
Yep.
dealing with him by myself. I didn't want my other son to deal. He went through so much, my other son, that I didn't want him to put him through that.
Yeah.
I I was trying always to protect him from that. So anyway, that was one of the things. And always being there for him, always protecting me when something I was feeling fear, uh, breathing. After every meltdown, I used to cry like a crazy. Lily. Oh
Yeah.
my!
Yeah.
My
I
nervous
understand.
system, it was on high. So I used to go to the toilet and
Yep.
stay there for 10 minutes with myself, crying out, all of my feeling, all what was going on. And then going out like I never, nothing happened. But in reality, I embraced what I felt during the time I was in the
Yeah.
toilet. I didn't start another activity to try to avoid what happened 10 minutes before.
Yeah. Yeah. I
What
understand.
I did is to acknowledge what was happening inside my body.
Inside you. Yeah.
And that make the difference. And every time I go to see him, not only he has a beautiful smile, because you can see some photo in my Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, so in all the social media, you can see he has a beautiful smile because I always smile to him. I have been smiling and asking him, give me a kiss, a kiss to mom. So one of the things was me accepting that I wasn't Superman, I wasn't a bionic woman, and accepting that I couldn't handle my son the way that he needed to be handled.
Yep. Yeah. I
You know,
understand.
and
So.
that was one of the biggest realization because the more we try to do things that we are not prepared, the
Yep.
worse it is. Because when we are trying, I will handle this, I'm going to handle this, but inside there is so much anger, resentment because of the situation you are going through. What you're giving is not love. And what I wanted to give to my son was love.
Yeah. Yeah. I understand. So tell us about your other son. Was he younger than, or was he older?
He's 16 months younger, and really he went through so much to the point
Yeah.
that we live in so much stress at home that he lost his hair in a very young age. So he's today bald, totally bald. He doesn't have
Is he?
hair, yeah, because of stress.
He lost his hair because he's too stressed. Um. Yeah.
And
Okay.
that they don't deserve it. They don't deserve it. You
Yeah.
know,
Yep.
we put friends. I do remember my parent telling me, "Why don't you send to a special care institute uh, when he was 8, 9, 10 years old?" And I
Yeah.
say, "Are you crazy? I'm not going to never do that. Never in my life. He's not a dog that you send to whatever place there. No, he's my son. I need to look after. He's my responsibility to the
Yeah.
detriment of my other son. When I decide that I needed to look after myself and my other Federico, that he's a beautiful, beautiful, perfect human, not perfect because nobody's perfect, but beautiful human being, fantastic professional, excellent father, excellent because I have two granddaughters. He gave me two. So, uh, really, what else I can ask for?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, But the
Exactly.
most important thing is us as parents to talk about what we feel as well. Not to,
Yeah.
not to keep suppressing our feeling. I always talk this reaction or what you have just said to me has caused me this. It's not you, it's me what is feeling. I used to be responsible of my feeling, not blaming my children or not trying to blame. Doesn't mean that I didn't fall into that sometime
Mhm.
because we all fall.
Yes. Yep. Yeah, that's
But
right.
I made the best to be responsible for my feeling when they were, or to try to be there for them, to support them when they were going through a tough time as well.
So
I hope
uh,
that answered your question. I can go deeper than that.
um, so with your older son, reside? Does he still live with you, or does he live on his own now? Or?
Now he lives in this institution. He's take care there. Once he turned 19 or 18, I cannot 19, I think. I couldn't take him out anymore and bring him home during the weekend. I couldn't handle it. It was impossible, neither for my other son. So neither the institute, to the point he has been kicked out from many institutes.
Yeah, yeah,
So and the last one, they used to call me. They used to call me and they say to me, we cannot handle him anymore. So I have to bring home. At a certain point, I have to put him into a psychiatry institute as well. And I have to go to live during the day there with him because they didn't want to be with him all day by themselves.
yeah.
So
I
I
understand.
have to be there with him because they used to allow me only to go home when he was sleeping. So I went through a very tough time with him.
Yeah,
And look, I continue smiling to life.
yeah, yeah.
I believe that life is beautiful. And if you ask me, would you live differently? Yes, I am sure. Do you want a different life? I learned so much through my children. They are my maestro. Look at where I am, and I am continue having challenge, and I am continue, but I am learning. Life is challenging for everyone. It's
Yes.
not easy. It's not easy.
Yes.
Nothing have, we didn't come here to live in a paradise. No, no, we came to
Absolutely.
learn. We came
Yes.
to learn. So the
Yes.
more I embrace learning, the better my life is. And one of the biggest words in my life is acceptance. Acceptance. The more I accept others and I reflect what they are reflecting on me, what I need to change, because it's affecting me, the behavior of someone else is something in me that need to be changed.
Yes. Yeah. So I was actually I was listening to a podcast this morning. It had he's the motivational speaker. I've forgotten his name. He's it's on the tip of my tongue. He's from the United States. He comes out to Australia every now and then. Anyway, on the podcast, he said,
Dr. De
"If you
Martini, Brian Weiss,
what was the first one?
Dr. De Martini, Brian
No,
Weiss,
no,
Anthony
Anthony Robbins. Anthony
Robbins.
Robbins. Anthony Robbins, and he was saying that if you want to define humility, he said to define humility or to understand uh, the understand that where your purpose is in life he said the best way to do that is to go and look after someone with some sort of disability or some sort of disease that is debilitating. The reason being is because then you understand how uh, the 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 day to day hurdles that they have, the day to day issues that they have, and then you can then have a better understanding with everything you do of
Correct.
where that person is coming from. So
One
if
of the
someone is if someone is upset with you, then you go back to, oh, okay, I remember that I was looked after such and such. And I remember it was just a bad day for them. So, which was a lot of the time because I had to look after them. And I did see that a lot in the hospitals. Like I said to you before, I knew exactly when I found out that your son was autistic. I knew straight away. Well, I saw that over and over, and I understand. I get it. Uh, the challenges that you have every day, and I mean, I only had to deal with it for 8 hours every day. You had to deal with it 24 hours of the day. So it brings you back to reality. That's what his point was basically. So even if people are challenging you or giving you a hard time, there's always someone worse than what you are. There's always
yeah,
someone, and you just gotta uh, be have humility and be humble and say, well, that's okay. They're just having a bad day, so uh, let it be.
yes, absolutely. And really, I always think if someone comes like that to my life,
Yeah,
it's because I ask myself what I need to learn from this experience. Why this person came to my life to have such an awful attitude? What I need to pay attention in my life,
yeah,
not about him or about her, is about me, what I need to improve myself, what I need to pay attention. And one of the biggest lessons my son gave me, or my children gave me, but specifically Martin, because it's Martin, Federico, and Camille, my daughter, the youngest one. One of the biggest lessons that Martin gave me is to enjoy every second of my life. I used to have 10 minutes for myself. I do remember when it was a time to eat, and he used to have so many problems to eating, and I used to have someone helping me. And this person used to say to me, go and walk around the corner and come back, because he's better. When I was so tension, expecting him to eat in certain way and he wasn't doing it, that I was putting more pressure on him vibrationally, because he could read my energy. So one of the big, and I used to enjoy those 5 minutes around the block. It was beautiful. So one of the biggest lessons and one of the things that I learned is to enjoy life, those 5 minutes, those 5 minutes, to treasure, to savor those 5 minutes that I have, for me are so important. And
yeah,
that I live my life like that,
yeah.
treasuring every moment of my life.
Okay. We we could go on and on with that one. I was going to say, so we'll just get back to the coaching. So you're talking about EFT, so emotional freedom technique, and I also see that you also promote TFT. So I know what EFT is. I actually teach
Yes,
that myself
I
on my
am.
website.
I do tapping actually. I tapping meditation before this interview, because it's normal. We all get nervous. So I
Nice.
did my tapping meditation before. I am not very deep in understanding in as I am in NLP, in bio emotional decoding as much as other people, you know, because
Yep.
I didn't go deeper. I got a certification and I did it only serving me to help my client with some meditation and to help myself to tap some point, and that's it. But I didn't go deeper into that. So that is not my specialty. My specialty is to help others to explore and process emotion through timeline. So I do a lot of timeline because I use in my bio-emotional decoding, we use a timeline as well. We go through different events in life. So that is my specialty. And also, I have to say, I have 40 years, 40, you are hearing me. 40 years. Martin is turning 42. So maybe with a gap of 2 or 3 years without therapies, I have myself therapy. I never stop working on myself. I always say, I want to leave a legacy to my children. As more as I heal, I heal my generation. I more care about my generation. So first, I heal myself because I don't want to continue living all my heaviness to my children and my grandchildren as well.
Yeah,
So
that's yeah.
that is my expertise. Is what I love doing.
What's that? What's that? Say it again. You love
Is
to do what?
what I love doing.
Yeah.
And I love coaching and I love helping people. I love seeing people changing their life once they become more aware.
Yes. Yes. That's what gets me out of bed is watching people, yeah, change and helping them. Uh, I agree with you. So tell us. So tell us a bit more about the psychological side of things. How do you help with that as well? Because you mentioned NLP. So tell us a bit more about that and any other psychological methods that you use.
What specifically I help, especially the people who are mental, only mental, and they don't go further. It's very hard for them to tap into the emotion. I do a lot of work through, for example, they say to me, I feel this way, but they are not telling me about feeling. They are telling me about thoughts. They don't understand what is a feeling. So I help everyone to tap into the feeling. So I go through the process. We talk about the symptom that they are experiencing because in the bioemotional decoding, the a symptom is defined as any event or circumstance in life that doesn't doesn't help you to reach your full potential and make you feel and leaving you unfulfilled. It's like you have in your unconscious mind, you have hidden stories, you know, hidden
Yeah.
events that you haven't processed. So I tap into those events and we release all of those emotions
Yeah.
in a free judgment support. We release all of those emotions, even the emotion that you never allow yourself to express because you think that they are forbidden. Forbidden or no, forbidden. Yes,
Yeah. Forbidden. Yeah.
that you cannot say. So I help them to release all of those emotions that they
Yeah.
are stored in your body.
Yep.
Because the more we store in our body emotion, they get to certain point in life. They can no longer be ignored. So then they manifest as a symptom that we need to pay attention. And symptom I am talking about as a cancer, financial problem, anxiety, allergies, different kind of symptom in life. So I help them to tap into all of those emotions. So we go through different events in life, and I know how to work in different because it's amazing. For example, I will give you an example. If something happened to you at 60 years of age, more likely something happened to you at 30 years old as well. Similar. You went through the same situation. And once you go to 30, you go to 15, and you realize you lived the same event and you went through the same emotion, not exactly similar event at 15. And then you tap into 7.5, and you have another thing there that is exactly the same emotion.
Yeah.
You tap
Yeah.
what you went through. So it's amazing. And once we release all of that, all of our anger, all of our resentment, all of our frustration, all of our fear, we liberate ourselves. So that is my major work with people. And rather than seeing the symptom, every symptom that presents in your life as a problem, I see the symptom as an invitation to questioning, and the
Yeah.
more you question, the more you have an understanding, the more awareness you bring to yourself, the more you know about yourself.
Yes.
Because it's
Yes.
amazing how many people come to my session, and the first question I ask them, who you are. Listen, actually, I don't know who I am. Because you are no Dr. Scott who does acupuncture. You are more than that,
Yes.
you know.
Yes. Yeah. So okay. So what is TFT? What does TFT stand for?
TFT, tapping, good question. I forgot.
Yeah.
EFT, tapping, frequency, tapping. I cannot remember.
Okay. So it's
I can,
tapping as well, is it?
yes,
It's tapping as
yeah,
well? Okay.
yeah. It's tapping. It's
Yeah,
tapping.
yeah, yeah. So it's similar to EFT.
Yes, correct.
Yeah, yeah. Cool.
Correct.
All
Oh,
right.
you asked me a question that I have mm, like you say blank.
That's all
I can blank. I can
right.
blank.
I'll put you on the spot.
Exactly.
So
You put me on
uh
this. And as I say to you, that is not my expertise. I use that helping my client doing meditation to release some anxiety. I know how to do it, how to create some sentence in order to help. But that is not my expertise. My
all right.
expertise is biodecoding. My expertise is NLP. My expertise is emotional intimacy. My expertise is positive psychologists. My expertise is to know more about trauma, the effect that trauma is having in your body.
Yeah, causes
When you
blocks.
don't release your emotion, that is my
Yeah,
effort, and I love it. That is an addition that I learned in order EFT and TFT I learn in order to help myself and to help my client in certain situations.
So, I noticed that you've also got a book released. When did you bring that out? When did you bring that book out?
And the book, we launched a story from the heart that
You
there,
just put it in the middle. Yeah, that's it.
I
Story
don't
from the heart.
know.
The, the, the carer's journey. The carer's
Uh,
journey.
so
11.
we had 11 carers share our stories. Most of them,
Yeah, it's in the middle. In the middle. In the middle. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it.
we
I see.
are, most of us, we are a parent of special needs kids. So we tell the story how, what we were through and how we overcome and
Yeah.
how, what did you, we learn in the process. Because I learned so much, I almost passed away as a consequence of dealing with all of the stress of my son, and that it was a wake up moment in my life. Is when I decided to put my son into an institution, when I almost passed away twice.
Did you, just from the stress, you mean? You,
And stress, doctor, they couldn't discover absolutely anything. For this reason, I work with emotions,
yeah.
because the emotion are showing you. If you
Yeah.
store all of your emotion and you are not able to express, they cause illness until
Yeah.
we cannot ignore anymore. So
Yeah.
it was a wake up call for me. I have pancreatitis, and they couldn't discover anything because I am not a person who take any pill. I don't believe in pills. I
Yep.
believe in looking after yourself,
Self. Yeah. Spend
physically, mentally, and emotionally. So I have been brought up by homeopathy in my life, some natural medicine.
Yep.
Doesn't mean that medicine is good for certain things. Don't
Certain
take me
things.
wrong. Don't take me
Yeah.
wrong here. So, but there are a lot of medication that they don't need to be prescribed. That there are a lot of strategies that we can do there to improve our life. So once I have the pancreatitis, it wasn't related to gallbladder stone, medication, or alcohol, because by that time I didn't drink alcohol. I started to drink alcohol when I was 29, and just a little bit. It wasn't much. So I drank more alcohol here in Australia than in Argentina. Really, yeah, Australia invite me more to drink a little bit more. I never can drink more than 2 glasses of wine a week, the
Yeah. Yeah. So
most.
well, it's in the Australian culture. I don't know what it's like in Argentina, but yeah, in the Australian culture, that
More, but by that time, people they didn't used to drink much. No, I mean, 30 years ago, people they
yeah,
didn't drink as much they drink now. So we didn't grow up in a culture of drinking, drinking, drinking. Not at all. I started my first glass of alcohol was 29 years old, and I was a
yeah,
mother
gotcha.
already, and
Yeah, yeah.
so yeah,
So that was in Argentina, is that right?
that was in Argentina.
Yeah,
So
yeah. So,
doctor, they say to me, my pancreatitis was really related to stress. That I needed to do something
yeah.
in order not to live in that kind of stress. For
Did
this,
you did you did
yeah,
it suppress your appetite? You didn't feel like eating much?
I love eating.
Oh, but back then.
When I have the pancreatitis, it was terrible. I
Yeah,
went deep
that's
to the point that they put me either the hospital was 10 blocks from home, and the ambulance fly,
yeah.
because I was screaming even though they came me. I was in intensive care more than 10 days.
Wow.
They were going to open me because they didn't know what was happening. because
Yeah.
I didn't have anything else than nothing
Yeah.
could give a sign of that. And they say, because my weekend organ say enough is enough,
Yeah.
enough. I wasn't feeling supported. They began pancreatitis. There is a dictionary that talk about that.
Yeah.
I was dealing everything by myself. It was a hard time in my life. For this reason, I am here to help others not to go through what I went through and to
Yep.
heal physical and emotionally. Not
Yep.
only emotional, physically, because there is a way to heal physically as well if we start tapping into our emotions.
Yeah. So that was gonna say uh so I'll just move on. So did you was there anything else you wanted to say about the book?
About the book, well, the book is about the story of all of us as a mother of special kids.
Yep.
Um, and
Where can people get it? Can they get it from Amazon?
they
Can they
can
get it?
contact me, Graciela at gracefulcoaching.me, and I
Yep.
can send the book. They can buy through me. We don't have the book in Amazon.
Okay.
It's a fantastic book. Every people who have read it, they were so happy. They learned so
Yep.
much. There are also many strategy that they can use for themselves. Maybe
Yep.
one story doesn't resonate with you. The the mission is in this book in reality is just one word, one sentence, something that help you
Yep.
live a
I get it.
better life, something that is helping you. So if you read, maybe not my story, maybe a story of someone else, my story doesn't resonate with your life, but
Yep.
there are many beautiful stories there, beautiful, believe me.
So
Yes.
you've done well. We're up to 52 minutes. So I'll just cut to the last two questions. So tell us about who's your ideal client or ideal avatar.
As I say to you, my ideal client is anyone who is going through physical symptoms and an emotional problem that are making their life unfulfilled. However, I am particularly committing to support parents on strengthening their bonds
Yep.
while they are going through the challenge of bringing up a child with disability.
Okay. Okay. Yep.
That
So
is my ideal client. But any client who is suffering physical and emotional problems.
yep. Okay. And also give us a tip or an idea or a method that uh, you've acquired to. Uh, sorry. Or what? Yeah. What rule would you go by, or what idea would you go by to attain lifelong longevity?
Mo, one of the things is nutrition, sleep well, sleep 8 hours. Don't feel specifically parent with the special needs kids. We have broken sleep. This is important. We think, oh, I cannot ask anyone. Um, Ask for help, please. Ask for help. I need half an hour. Do you mind to look after my son or my daughter? I need half an hour for myself, half an hour of sleep, 1 hour of sleep. Please, I beg you, don't underestimate the importance of sleeping. Hydrate yourself find a way also to do exercise, something that you enjoy. Go for a walk. Um, Go for a walk. If you like running, I don't like running. Go for a run. I love cycling. Go for a bike ride. 15 minutes, 20 minutes. There is no excuses in life. Believe me. I brought up my children on my own. I was working 24/7, and I find way to look after myself. Once I understand that they were only excuses, you find way to look after yourself. So sleeping, nutrition, hydrate yourself, mindfulness to clear your mind,
Yep.
meditate. 10 minutes, wake up 10 minutes early, or find a way to go to the toilet like I used to do. Tap into your emotion, you know, tap into your body. What is your body feeling? This is
Saying to you.
this is important. And the other thing, most important thing, is gratitude. Gratitude. Wake up and go to bed with a grateful heart. See beauty in everything. You know, be grateful about the beautiful plants I am looking through the window. Be grateful about the sun. Be grateful about the moon. Be grateful that you have hands, that you have arms, legs, that I can speak, that I can see you. Be grateful for a small thing in life. We take for granted all of that we have water, that we have food at the table.
Yep.
And as I say to my client always, and this is important, when you feel triggered by someone or by some event, hold your heart or wherever you feel the emotion, the strong emotion. Sometimes people feel here on their stomach. Hold it. Put your hands there. Take 3 to 5 slow, deep breath. Tap of whatever you are feeling in that moment. Acknowledge your feelings. This is so. And how long does it take? Especially mothers or parents that we are triggered all the time by our kids. How long does it take that? 10 seconds?
Yeah.
15 seconds? Do you
Yep.
have 15 seconds to have a better life yourself? Isn't that beautiful?
Yes. Yes.
And read the body. And this book, the body is keep the score. Read that book. The body keeps.
Keeps us the score.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, when
All
the body
right.
say no, or when the body say no, by Garbo Mate. I
Oh, yeah.
love
When the book,
Mate. I love Garbo Mate.
there's another book, the 4 Hour Body. If you get a chance, read that one too. That's pretty cool. All right. Uh, thank you so much, Graciela. And on that note, you've given us some beautiful thoughts. So thank you so much for your time, and much appreciated for being on the Get Busy Living podcast. And yeah, we appreciate your time, and you gave us some gold today. Thank you so much.
And thank you to you for giving me this huge opportunity. Huge. Thank you so much. Thank
No,
you.
no, thank you,
Take
Graciela.
care. Take care.
But we'll call it quit time out now. So thank you very much. Follow me next week for the Get Busy Living podcast, and much appreciated. And thanks for joining us, especially you, Mitch. Thanks for uh, sending us a message. And thank you again, Grisella.
You're welcome. Thank you to you. Thank you so much to you.
Oh, and also, just before we go, Grisella's going to put her details in the chat, in the comments, on all the 3 platforms and you'll have access to her book and also other information about her
Yes, you can
business.
find me as Graciela Ramon Michel, also Graceful Coaching in Facebook or Instagram. You can find me in LinkedIn as well. So you can find me in many platforms.
Thanks, guys. Thank you, Graciela.
Thank you. Thank you to you, Dr. Scott. Thank you.